What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All the Mods Expert. Oh yeah, guys. So we're down here in our underground area, and I decided, the walls are looking a little bad, so I wanted to test out, a look. So the most abundant resource we have right now is still cobblestone, and we can chisel cobblestone in all sorts of different patterns. So this is cobblestone that's chiseled to look like the stone bricks, and then we have cobblestone, and I forget which variant this is off the top of my head, but it's just one of the chisel variants. So yeah, I kind of like the way that's looking. Unfortunately, it's not spaced out properly, so you see we have 5 blocks of space in between each one of these columns, and over here, yeah, we only had 1 block of space. Eventually, I'm sure we'll open up this room bigger if we continue down here. I'm not really sure exactly how this is all going to be laid out. We'll probably end up walling things off, but yeah, that's where we are right now. I kind of like the way that design looked, and I was thinking, since we have the water wheels here and we have our wall back here, and we got a lot of space, we might end up putting our whole applied energistics system back in this general area. Our controllers, our auto crafting things that aren't like super important that have to be out front. Yeah, so like all this stuff that we have over here, we could put back there. I've also made a new ME crafting terminal here so we can access our things from down below. Just gonna make things a lot easier instead of having to run up the stairs every time and then, mess around up there. Another thing that I've been trying to do is consolidate our power generation and distribution. So we have these 2 water wheels down here specifically powering our ME system, but there's a lot of power that's being generated that's kind of being wasted. And then we also have, as we saw before, water wheels. Let's get out here. We have water wheels all around. We have one over here that's powering these machines, and then we had another one over here underneath our little farm area. Yeah, we got another water wheel here that's powering this. So, oh, we got an extra cable there. So what I kind of want to do is combine all these water wheels into one location and just run our power conduits around. So I started along this process, started digging tunnels over. This water wheel, by the way, I kind of skimped out on, didn't fill it all the way in. So there's some missing blocks and stuff. That's fine. We're going to be removing that. So I dug a tunnel over here so we can run some conduit. And I've also ran another conduit over here that connects to the bottom side of our machines. If we press J, we can see these are where all those machines are, and this is that other water wheel on the top side. Yeah, so we connect right to that power conduit, and we run it all the way down here. Right, and then that connects all the way down to this line. So everything is now connected. The last step is I need to connect over to our farm, and then everything should be all on the same channel. Then we'll have to take our... Oh, wait. All the conduit binders on my inventory is like, why didn't that work? Yeah. And then we'll have to take all of our water wheels and then move them down here. So I'll put the other 2 side by side, and we'll end up kind of with the wall of water wheels, I think. That's kind of our best way at the moment to produce RF power. And yeah, I kind of like the way they look when they're all stacked together. Might as well keep them in the same fashion. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and run this conduit all the way down here, and then we can remove the water wheel that we have in this area. Maybe we'll do one of these numbers like so, and then I'll connect that over into the main system. Can I get up here easily? No, I guess that works. Let me come over here. Aha. And oh, can't connect it there because of the torch. We'll do that. That's fine. Okay, so now our power is all being ran off the water wheels over there. Well, I guess if we disconnect this now, all the power for this is being ran off our 2 water wheels over there. So the next step is I need to remove this thing, set it up over there. I need to remove our other water wheel right here and set it up down there, consolidate everything together, and then we'll move on. Alright guys, so I spent some time here. I moved our water wheels down. We got them all hooked up. I started running the cable in such a way that'll make it look a little bit nicer. So these 2 water wheels are facing the inside. That's where our kinetic dynamos are. So yeah, they can share the same energy conduit, and that just runs underneath the ground, comes over here, and connects up to the bottom side of this basic capacitor bank. Same thing on this side. Those 2 are connected together, runs down under here, and then to the same conduit. These energy conduits can do up to 640 RF per tick, and I believe that's per connection. Each of these water wheels are only producing 88 RF, so we're making less than 400 RF per tick, so we are more than good to have the energy conduits all connected to one thing on the bottom of this basic capacitor bank. You can see right now we're gaining 234 RF per tick, which is less than 88 RF per tick that we should be seeing. And that's because our applied energistic system over here is connected. If we remove that, we can see that we are now jumping up to, if it will ever go up all the way to the correct amounts, like 300 and something. We must be filling up power outside somewhere. 292 is what it shows that we're making right now with all of the power that we're using at the moment. But anyway, I have double checked everything and it looks like everything should be fine. So yeah, we only have the one basic capacitor bank here, and then we have the HV capacitor. So the reason we're using this holds 4 million. This one holds 1 million. Might as well use both of them. This one has a display of how much power we're using. This one doesn't. It just shows how much power is inside of it. So yeah, if we are using power, we can definitely see right here how much that we are transferring out of our capacitor bank into our HV capacitor, which is providing power to the rest of the base. So obviously what I like to do is make bigger power storage, so we have a lot more power on tap. So when we need to use a large amount of power, like our atomic laser thing from actually additions, like when we're trying to make sunny quartz, this stuff here that requires 150,000 RF per sunny quartz. I had to make a few of these today because I was trying to backlog a supply of our quartz glass for applied energistics. Yeah, we're running out of power quite a lot. Anyway, yeah, I definitely want to make sure we have more power on tap for when we have to use large amounts of power like that. But yeah, the capacitor banks, as we've seen in the past, that's why we've only made the one, are a little expensive because it requires a tungsteel and these basic capacitors, and those require the empowered Redstonia crystals and the silver clumps plus mana glass. Now, it's not like super difficult for all this stuff, but it is a little expensive. And then when we move up to the capacitor banks, which I would like to do eventually, we need the double layer capacitors, which requires empowered palace crystals plus 2 of the basic capacitors per one of those, and we need 4 of those to make one of these guys. So yes, it does get a little expensive as we progress. Now, it might be cheaper if we go one way versus the other. So let's see. Basic capacitor bank, that'd be 4 of these basic capacitors. So that's 8 of those plus, so 2 more, so that's 10. And now if we go this way, this is going to be 2 basic capacitors, 2, 4, 6, 8. So it might be cheaper to do this one, just go straight to the capacitor bank as opposed to doing this version. That is something that is interesting. This also requires electrical steel versus energetic alloy. Yeah, you know what I think that recipe is the cheaper one. This one right here. So we might end up making a few of these guys. Yeah, one of those holds more than the HV capacitor from Immersive Engineering, and we get a little bit of reporting on it, what it is actually doing. So we might make some of these guys. Anyway, so yeah, power situation is under control. Very happy about that. What I'd like to do today, though, is I'd like to start progressing into IC2. Yeah, we need to get automated resource collection going, right? So in order to get something like nether quartz, which we need a lot of, the recipe for that, it's clicked in there. The recipe for this, pretty much bees are going to be the best way to get these things automatically without a large amount of power. But in order to do the bee stuff in this mod pack, we really want to get into the bee mod, whatever that's called, Gendustry. Yeah, I think Gendustry. So the big thing that was holding us back was the Mutatron here, which requires MOX nuclear fuel, which means we have to get into IC2 nuclear power. All right, so I think that is going to be our next step. All right, guys, so in order to get into the IC2 nuclear stuff, we're going to need a few machines specifically for this task. Now, we could reuse some of the machines we have here, like our metal former and our macerator, But I kind of feel like we're going to want these machines for our general crafting, and we're going to want machines specific for the industrial to nuclear stuff. So these are the machines that we have to make right now. So we need a macerator to take our uranium that we have and crush it down into the crushed uranium ore, right? Then we're going to want to take that crushed ore and put it through an ore washing plant that'll turn it into clean ore, whatever it's called, purified ore. The reason why we want to do that is because when we take that and then run it through a thermal centrifuge, let's get over here. Yeah, so the crushed uranium ore turns into one pile of 235 and 4 uranium 238. We need both of those to combine into a fuel rod. In fact, we need 3 of these 235s and 6 of these, if I remember correctly. So anyway, so that's the regular stuff. If we purify it, yeah, the purified crushed uranium ore, just by running it through the ore washing plant with some water, we get 5 238 and 2 235. So we essentially double the output of this stuff. And just a little bit extra 238, but we double the 235. This is the important part. So yeah, that's our next step. So then we take all of those things, and then we need to put it into a fuel rod, which we're going to make through a metal former. Put iron into the metal former on extruding, I think, and then you get the fuel rods. Combine those together in the fluid solid canning machine. So yes, we'll need one of these to combine the nuclear stuff, whatever, I can't remember what that stuff is called, and then the empty fuel rods to make the complete things. Then we're also going to need to take those, combine 4 of those together using, I think it's iron plates and copper or something. Let's take a look here. Fuel rod. Yeah, so the fuel rod is made with an iron plate ran through the metal former on extruding to get this thing. And then we want to combine these fuel rods into the quad fuel rod, not the MOX version. I guess it would be this one, uranium. Yeah, so we're going to need 3 iron plates and then 2 copper plates in order to do this version of it. So this will last 4 times longer, and I think it's more resource friendly. Not entirely sure on that. But anyway, when we get the depleted uranium fuel rod, once that's spent, we can put it back through the thermal centrifuge. We can get some tiny piles of plutonium, some uranium 238 back out of there. I think that is the same amount that we put in, and some iron dust. Okay, so we kind of reclaim some of our resources after we spend all of that stuff. Now, the tiny piles of plutonium will eventually turn into the plutonium. We can also make it into plutonium, which will be useful for later. And then, yeah, we can turn into this plutonium stuff. So we need 3 plutonium plus 238 to make the MOX nuclear fuel. And that is where we're trying to get to. But yes, once we make the fuel rods, we still have to deplete them, which means we have to have the reactor going for so long before it uses up all that fuel. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. So currently I am taking bronze ingots, putting it through a metal former, and turning it into bronze plates. We need those bronze plates for each one of these machines. Requires a basic machine casing, which is 8 of those. So I already made 1 basic machine casing. I think I put it back in the ME system. So we're making enough for these other machines here. And I think one of those required an advanced machine. That's basic. Oh, maybe I clicked on the wrong thing. What's this? No, this is advanced machine casing on the thermal centrifuge. So yeah, this machine's a little bit more expensive. So we need the basic machine casing plus the steel plates, carbon plates, advanced alloys, which requires a mixed metal ingot. So that's silver, electrum, and constantan. All those plates turn into 1 mixed metal ingot. And then we are going to need 2 of those, right? Yeah, because 1 mixed metal turns into 1 advanced. So yes, it's quite a lot of resources that goes into this. But once we make the machines, we won't ever have to make them again. So I think we'll be just fine. So anyway, it's a waiting game on this stuff. Well, it looks like the waiting is over, at least for the machine casing. So we should be able to turn those all into what we need. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think I needed 1 tin plate. Right. 10. We need 1 tin plate, and then we can make ourselves our macerator that we wanted for this specific purpose. No, metal former, tin ingot. All right, so that'll make our tin plate. Then we should be able to make our macerator like I was saying. I'll go ahead and start working on a lot of these other things off camera. This ore washing plant, though, Yeah, we're gonna have to get into some other stuff. It looks like in order to make ourselves the electronic circuit. Those circuits are pretty useful for some other things. Let's see. You know, I'm almost thinking, since we're gonna be setting up the nuclear power and we're gonna be making a lot of EU, it might be worth trying to, at the same time, get into UU matter production, because we're gonna be having all that EU power, and what are we gonna do with it? So if we look at a mass fabricator, I'm not sure how expensive this is, probably expensive. The mass fabricator is a couple of advanced casings, glowstone advanced circuits. All right. So that's not so bad. White gold. We haven't had to make white gold yet. That is gold, silver, copper, manganese. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. And then empowered palace. You know what? We might try and get into this as well. But anyway, first things first, let's make these first few machines and then we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I got as much done as I can right now. We got ourselves a macerator and we got ourselves a metal former. But then we couldn't make the ore washing plant because it requires an electronic circuit. And we could not make the thermal centrifuge because it requires a mining laser. And the fluid solid machine also requires electronic circuit. We have all the parts ready to go for this. So we need 3 electronic circuits, and then we need to take one of those and turn it into an advanced circuit. Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff involved in this kind of thing, so I figured we'd do it together. Electronic circuit. So we need a thermionic fabricator. So that's a forestry machine, and this is not so bad. It's a chest, 4 gold, 3 glass, and then 8 bronze into a sturdy casing. We should have everything ready to go to make all this. Let's go ahead and make a sturdy casing and one of those. There is a thermionic fabricator. Now this machine does require molten glass. I think you can put sand in there, or you have to put glass. I can't remember. Anyway, we'll just stick this right over here. That should be fine. I do believe, at least in the past, the thermionic fabricator had a trickle power, like it always used a little bit. I don't know if that's still the case. We might want to move this later. I don't know. Anyway, we put some sand in here. This thing will slowly heat up. If this thing is getting power, is it getting power? 3000 RF. Maybe it has to be glass. Let's try putting glass in there. Let's try putting a little bit of regular glass in there and see if something happens. So the bar is a little bit lower for this, and I'm not seeing anything happen yet. Oh, you know what? I think this machine was changed. You have to have a valid recipe before this thing heats up and melts the glass. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, so let's work on getting a valid recipe. So we're gonna need 3 of those at the minimum. So we need 6 of these LV wire coils. And we have plenty of those from our previous power usage, which is great. All right, so now we're gonna need microchip tier 2. We need 3 of those. We have those on AutoCraft, thankfully. And it looks like we have everything ready to go to make all that. Things are being crafted over here. Awesome. All right, so those are all done. Guess I'll put the sand away. So we got those and those. So now we need printed circuit board PCB, which means we need raw circuit board. So we need slime, green dye, and then silicon dust. I do believe we have silicon dust out there at our rockhounding stuff, but we're gonna have to go out there to do that. I just went and I mined a whole lot of obsidian. I saw that these different pieces do require obsidian in the recipe. So, oh, you know what? We need quartz blocks for that. That's fine. We'll do this. I also mined a bunch of quartz from the nether earlier too. Okay, so now that we got all of these things together, I'll make 2 recipes of those. I don't know if we need that many, but we might need them later. We're also gonna need the glowstone exciter. We don't have glowstone blocks, so we can easily make those. That should be fine. All right, so we got that, those. What else are we missing here for this recipe? Quartz, resonator, top and bottom. This goes here. These go like that, and then the thing in the center, I think, was the last bit. Yeah, the printed circuit board. Okay, so we need to get ourselves some green dye. Now, yeah, floral green powder. So we can use Botania flowers for this. We do need that silicon dust and the slime balls. Slime balls are, or I'm sorry, the silicon dust I do believe we already have ready to go. Pretty sure. Let's get over here. All right, so silicon. Yeah, right here. All right, so we needed 3 of those. All right, I think we should be good. Now, do we have the green? We have these mystical green flowers. All right, so we will convert those into the petals like we've done before. Grab some bone meal. Looks like we don't have any bone meal made. I'm gonna do this over here in our sag mill so we get a little bit extra. Oh yeah, did we get 12 out of one of those bones? Wow, that's gonna give us a whole lot of this stuff. All right, well, we should be good to go for a while with the whole bone meal situation. All right, so we'll bring this over here to our area, our Botania area. We also need to get ourselves shears. I don't think I have shears on me. Not seeing them. All right, so I'll bone meal these so I don't lose them. They kind of sparkle, but easy enough to lose. So we'll do that. Shears. Nope. All right, so iron. All right. Out here, we will cut these down. Let me go ahead and do a few of these just so we have them ready to go. Did I show you guys what this is looking like out here without our water wheel now? It kind of looks different every time I come over here. We don't have the wires all over the place because all these machines are being powered with the energy conduits down below. We don't have that giant water wheel here anymore. It just feels a lot more open over here. Anyway, I ended up making 6 of these. You get 2 per craft. I didn't realize that, but yeah, it's fine. We made a little bit more than what we needed. We'll have them for later. All right, so we'll turn off our magnet here. Drop those right here. Each one of these costs 10,000 in RF to process, so all of those should process at the same time. And there we go. There's 6 of those printed circuit boards. Nice. All right, so we're making some pretty good progress here. So the other things that we needed to do for this, let's take a look. Is that the last? You know what? I think that's it. All right, so we should be able to put this over here in a Thermionic Fabricator. That there. Those and those. Glowstone exciter, microchip, and these quartz thingies. All right, so we have a valid recipe in there. So now it is using power. Yeah, I guess what we need to do in the future in order to turn this thing off is just remove one of these items so there's no longer a valid recipe, and then it won't be draining down power. So there is 1 electronic circuit. There's 2. And there's a 3rd one. Awesome. All right, so now we have the things ready to go for... yeah, the rest of our machine making here. Put that away. So there's our ore washing plant. We need to make a thermal centrifuge, which will be a little bit more expensive, and then a fluid solid canning machine. And there it is. All right, cool. So now we got a lot of these things together. We still need to do the thermal centrifuge. So we need advanced machine casing, electric motor. We have some of these things, but yeah, the most expensive part is the advanced machine casing and then the mining laser. So mining laser, 4 advanced alloys. We also need the energy crystal. So we need to take, oh, this is not what I was expecting. Or I can do the original IC2 version. So I think we might want to do this. Niobium dust or tantalum dust, if that's how you even pronounce those. I'm not entirely sure. But we should have some of those over here, I think. Which is it. There's that. So we can use one of those. I guess I'll do that. It seems like the simplest way of getting this done. So put that and laser it. Cool. All right. Well, that's really easy to do. What else do we need here? The advanced circuit. So that means we need to do empowered palace crystal. So to empower that, we need prismarine shards, which we don't have. I think there's a way we can convert. Yeah, if we do the molecular transformer, we can convert lapis directly into prismarine. If we had a prismarine B, we can make it. I thought there was a way that we could do this other ways. So if we find guardians, there's rare drop as a spike. Those turn into it. So what does a molecular transformer cost? Let's take a look. So the molecular transformer costs a lot of stuff here. We need advanced circuits in order to do this. So I think we're locked out of doing that for the moment. So our other methods of getting the prismarine. So we gotta go find some guardians. Yeah, that's it. That looks like it. So the thing about guardians, since we have I forget the name of the mod in here, not Botania, the other one that's made by Vasky. Since we have that mod in here, guardians spawn pretty much anywhere there's water, and I think at a certain level though. So yeah, we pretty much need to go out to the ocean, find some guardians, kill them, and then we can get our prismarine. Alright guys, so since we're gonna be fighting guardians, we're gonna want a way to move around in the water to kill them easier, right? So there is the water walking, I think is what it is. I can't remember the name of it. Let's see, I think it might be the next page. Depth Strider is what it is. Depth Strider. So yeah, we need prismarine in order to make Depth Strider. So we don't have prismarine until we kill guardians, so that's not gonna work. Now I saw that our dark steel boots, if we hold shift over those, it does say flippers with the lily pad plus 4 levels. I'm not sure if that's the same exact thing. We can go ahead and check that out. So I do have a lily pad. I had 2 of those actually. So that plus this and 4 levels gives us the flippers ability, which I'm not entirely sure, but I kind of feel like that's the same thing as Depth Strider. Let's just go ahead and sleep through the night real quick. Get rid of the rain. Nobody likes rain. All right, so if I go into here, is that the same speed? Maybe it's a little bit faster. It doesn't feel like it's like super fast though. No, you know what? I think that's regular walking speed. So I don't know. Does that count? Like if we're down in the water? No, it doesn't. I guess only when we're swimming does it apply, I think. I'm not entirely sure. It just doesn't feel like it's doing a whole lot. Maybe I'm not understanding what the flippers does. I think if we did get the water walking, or I'm just keep saying that, Depth Strider, it'd be a heck of a lot better. But for right now, I think that's going to get us by. Alright guys, so we're over here at the ocean. I keep hearing a bunch of the guardians around. I see one over there, in fact. So yeah, we have them over here in this area, which is fine. Now, in order to make the empowered palace stuff, we need 3 prismarine per craft, and we'll probably end up doing blocks at a time just to save on the prismarine until we get some kind of an automated way to get that stuff. So that guardian was just over there. I think I see him on the mini map still, and it just despawned. Okay, great. So we need to go find ourselves another guardian. They spawn pretty frequently, I do believe, out here in the ocean, so it shouldn't take too long for us to find one. Just do a little fly around real quick. There's one. There's 2 of them. I don't know if I really want to mess around with 2 at once. In fact, I'd rather find one in an easy to get location, like over here. I should have went for that other one really fast. Yeah, if they're over here, we can single them out. If there's multiple together, yeah, then they can start getting you. And without a lot of cover around here, it's gonna get pretty ugly pretty fast. Now, I see there is one here, and there's 2 over there. You know what? Let's just try and go for this one, I guess. I need night vision on. Apparently, you can't use a thing underwater. Our staff of traveling underwater, like into the water, you can only use it up into the air. Okay, so we just killed one. Let's see what we ended up getting here. Let's get out of the water before the guardians get us. Oh, we got 5 prismarine and a guardian spike. Wow. All right. So we ended up getting 10 of those really fast. That's awesome. Okay, so now that we got 10 of those, we should be able to do this a few times and progress. Alright guys, so we're going to end up making 3 of these blocks since we have a lot of these prismarines now. I need to make sure my magnet's off, and then we have to put lapis blocks in front of our laser, or you could do them single at a time, but this is the most cost efficient way of doing it. Anyway, so there is that. So yeah, 3 prismarine and then 1 cyan or floral cyan powder is what we're using. So that'll turn into the empowered palace crystals, and that'll give us 9 of these per block. So let me go and finish those up, and then we will look at continuing on. Alright guys, well, I really wasn't planning on spending all episode making IC2 machines, but that's pretty much where we ended up at. So I did just make a compressor off camera here. We needed one of these machines in order to turn our our mixed metal ingots into advanced alloys. The compressor itself isn't that bad. Hardened stone, we got that for mining. I had to make 2 more electronic circuits and then some more bronze plates for basic machine casing. There's our advanced alloys. Now the advanced alloys did take constantan. This is a material we haven't had to make yet, at least in this series, and that is copper plus nickel. I just did that in the induction, or the alloy smelter, not induction smelter. So yes, I think we should have everything together to make the rest of the machines that we're trying to make here. Hopefully, we're trying to make this mining laser. That's the next step here. So we need the advanced circuits. We need the empowered palace crystals, white gold nugget. I went and I crafted this. We looked at that recipe earlier. That was gold, silver, copper, and manganese. All right, so we should have everything together to make an advanced circuit now. So this should be ready to go. What was that item called? That is called an energy crystal. Where? Oh, I wonder if I have that energy crystal downstairs. We haven't had to use that for anything. It's not here. Is it down in this thing? Where did my energy crystal go? I wonder. Maybe I did have to use it in something else. Did it go into one of these? Oh, you know what? We still have to make one of these. Another thing is this carbon plate. Raw carbon mesh comes from 9 of these carbon fibers, which is more expensive than normal. Each one of those carbon fibers is for crushed coal. So I put a stack of, or no, I put in like 4 stacks of coal, I think, into our crusher upstairs. Yep, and then I turned it into like 7 of these raw carbon meshes. I think we had some of the raw carbon fiber left over. Anyway, I smashed 2 of those with our compressor. We also needed the compressor for that. All right, so can we make this? All right, so there's an advanced machine casing. I have no idea what happened to our crystal. Our energy crystal. That's not in my inventory here. It's just like lost its icon or something, right? I don't know what happened to that. I forgot. I put a chest right here with all the machines that we made earlier, and that's where the energy crystal went. I just made another one, and then it dawned on me. Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, I'm sure we'll get use out of that at some point in the future here. So we are almost there, guys. We are almost there. It's been a long time, long process, but there's our mining laser, and there's the thermal centrifuge. My goodness. All right, so now that we got all of those machines made, we will be able to get those things hooked up and start getting into IC2 nuclear stuff. But we'll have to wait for next time. Unfortunately, we've ran out of time for this episode. I know, guys. The time just seems to fly sometimes. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.